We've been speculating about it for a long time now, but Shane Dawson is now back with a new video. And in his official return to YouTube, he had a lot of very interesting things to say about the last year and a half of his life. What's crack, it's VangelinaSkov, and if you hadn't figured it out already from the title, the introduction of this video, and the thumbnail of this video, today we are going to be talking about Shane Dawson and the newest video that he made just yesterday on YouTube. Yes, he actually has a YouTube video out. There are a lot of really interesting things that he said in this video, specifically about his life for the last however long it's been since he was cancelled, about some things in his personal life and stuff that's happened on the internet. So today I just kind of want to talk about all of that a bit, tell you what he said in the video, tell you what other people are saying, and all that jazz. But before we get into that, let me tell you about the sponsor of today's video, Atlas VPN. If you have a look down at the description of this video, you'll see a little link that you can click to get Atlas VPN at a massive discount of just $139 a month for 3 years with a 30-day money-back guarantee. But let me tell you a little bit why you absolutely want to click that link. Atlas VPN helps you keep safe while you browse the internet by having all of your internet traffic travel through an encrypted tunnel. This means that it is hiding your IP address and all of your online activities, as well as keeping you safe from any spying on the internet and from public Wi-Fi. For me, this has actually been a lifesaver recently because I've been traveling a lot lately, and because of that I've had to use a lot of public Wi-Fi, and the absolute last thing that I want is for my data to be breached because I'm being forced to use public Wi-Fi. But by using Atlas VPN, I know that that's not going to happen, and I know that my data is safe. And another really useful feature that they have to keep you safe online is that they have a data breach monitor, which is so easy to use. All you have to do is put in your email address. Now, keeping yourself secure online is obviously a good enough reason to get a VPN. It's the main reason I use one. But another absolutely fantastic feature of Atlas VPN is that you can access shows on streaming services that you wouldn't normally be able to watch in your country. For example, if Top Gear is not available on Netflix in your country, you can just turn on Atlas VPN, set it to the UK, and there you go. You can watch Top Gear. It's as easy as that. Or any other show you want. Okay guys, I just really like Top Gear, and actually I've gotten back into it recently, so. But don't worry, whether you are trying to watch shows or keep yourself secure while browsing the internet on a laptop or phone or iPad, tablet, you can use Atlas VPN on unlimited devices, which is not something that you can get out of every VPN service. So click the link in my description to get Atlas VPN for $139 a month for 3 years before the deal runs out. Thank you Atlas VPN for sponsoring today's video, and now let's talk about Shane Dawson. Now, we recently spoke about Shane, and this was because he was on Ryland's podcast, Ryland being his fiance, obviously. And in that podcast, he was saying that he really does want to get back into making videos and making content for YouTube, and that he loves YouTube and loves creating, but he just doesn't know what to make. He has no inspiration and nothing magical is hitting him. And then what feels like 2 days later, although it is much longer than that, I just have lost all concept of time, he has returned to YouTube with what is going to be a 3-part series. Now, the first part is called The Haunting of Shane Dawson, which is essentially a house tour and him talking about his cancellation, but it's leading up to a ghost hunting series of some kind in Colorado. So I guess that's why he called it The Haunting of Shane Dawson, because he does make references to him being haunted and ghosts following him and things like that. But again, the whole video is mostly a house tour and mostly talking about himself. Now, I'm not going to talk really too much about the actual haunting bits that he talks about, because he mostly just makes references to him being haunted by ghosts and them following him, and they go into his basement and talk about the entity that he believes is in the basement, which he thinks is an angel, but he says that going in there gives him a heavy feeling on his chest, and then he edits in a video of this guy saying that, well, when you feel a presence that feels heavy on your chest, that's a negative presence, it's not your angels. So probably not. It's probably not angels. The other haunting related parts are him talking about what the rest of the series is going to be. They're going to go see some very scary haunted place in Colorado, although he hasn't specified where it is. He's just kind of showed little teaser clips. And he also talked about Ryland being possessed at one point. Should we get into that? I don't think we should get into that. Let's just leave that one alone. The majority of what I am going to talk to you about now is what he did have to say about his cancellation and how he's been feeling over the last year, 2 years, everything that's happened and how he himself has changed as a person. It seems that he's taken a much different approach to his past and the videos that he's made in his past, the things he's said, the jokes that he's made, and basically the horrible things that he's done in his past than he did previously. And in his apology videos, his taking accountability video, he seems to have a much different mindset on it now. And that might be because, as he says, he's been talking through all of this with his therapist. And now he says he feels so disconnected from the person that he was in his 20s, so much so that it makes him feel sad and sick to his stomach. Although he has said before that he's not that person, he's not the same person he was in his 20s when he was making those jokes and those videos. But the difference now is that he's saying, although he does feel upset about those things, he can't just pretend that that part of him didn't exist, and that's what he was trying to do before. He says that that person got him to where he is today, and although there was a lot of horrible things that he would never repeat, and he would never make those jokes now, and he would never do the same things, there are some parts of the things that he did that he was proud of. There are some projects or videos that did have good messages or didn't have those kind of horrible jokes, and he's proud of those parts of it, while also accepting that the things that he did say that were more controversial or just outright offensive weren't okay, and that he's horribly ashamed of those parts. Now, the other thing he did say was that he had made a lot of growth. He'd grown a lot as a person before he had been cancelled, and that he'd already felt so disconnected from that other version of him, the younger version of him, that when people did start coming for him and talking about all his old content and bringing up all these past things that he had done, that he was really upset, because he was saying to himself, well, that's not who I am anymore. Why are people cancelling me for the past? However, he says that because of people bringing all this up, he had to really look at who he was then. And it forced him to learn that although he's ashamed of those parts of him, they are still him. But he can grow from that and learn from that and change. And he does say that since then, he has grown even more. He also says that he is grateful that he was cancelled because it taught him a lot, as well as forcing him to look at all of his past mistakes with a different lens. It also taught him that he doesn't need YouTube to be happy and that he can take a break. Now, the thing is, of course, opinions are divided. And people are either saying, ew, go away, or I'm proud of you for growing. And I guess the reaction that you get kind of depends on where you go, because if you go onto the video itself, the majority of the comments are very, very positive. Now, of course, Shane could be going through comments and deleting them, or he could have somebody else going through comments and deleting negative ones. However, the like to dislike ratio is quite high as well. When I watched it, it was 204,000 likes to 20,000 dislikes. So it is quite in favor of the likes, and therefore it kind of makes sense that it has more positive comments and people saying they're happy to see him grow and change. But if you go on Twitter, you get quite a lot of negative things being said about Shane, like they want him to stay away, or they wish he hadn't posted, or that he's just disgusting, or this and that and the other, just the general things that people say about Shane Dawson on Twitter. So yeah, it really does depend where you go. But I would love to know what you think about it. If you let me know in the comments whether you're happy he's back, whether you're neutral that he's back, or you hate that he's back, and whether you think that he can grow and change. But I do want to pose a quick question, and I've been afraid to ask this question for a while because it's something I've been thinking about. But when you ask questions on the internet, people seem to think that you're making that as a statement. They seem to gather that you are forcing an opinion on somebody rather than simply asking a question, because what I'm about to ask you, I'm not sure of it either, and I'm genuinely just wondering this. At what point do we try and trust Shane and think maybe he is changing, maybe he legitimately is trying to change, and maybe he is trying to grow, and perhaps maybe he has grown? And that's not me saying to you that that's the case. I'm wondering, can we not let it go, but allow him to grow? And the other question is, all this time, this has been about creators taking accountability. And at what point do we say, okay, this person is taking accountability? Is it about accountability, or is it about cancellation? And I'm not judging your opinion either way. I'm really not. it's something that I want to explore more, and it's something I want to kind of talk about more, not even necessarily in relation to Shane. I just want to understand it more, find out the guidelines of what we're supposed to be what we're thinking here. Anyway guys, that's gonna be it for me for now. So like I didn't say at the start of the video, please subscribe. That's my cat trying to get through the door. She's telling you to please subscribe. Turn on all notifications, like, comment, share, and you can also follow me on social media. Don't forget to click the link in my description to get Atlas VPN for $139 a month for 3 years. And also don't forget to have a wonderful day. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.